Hello, Magic players. It's Corn Time 60, and it's time to take a look at the Brothers' War. I hope this actually records pretty well, because, yeah, who knows. Anyway, I'm just trying to take a look at whatever cards are officially spoiled as of now on Wizards' website. So, here we go. And I actually haven't looked at, any Brothers' War cards. I know Mishra and Urza have to be around, but that's mostly it. And I know they're going to have Transformers cards, which is whack. Alright, let's start with white. Aeronaut Cavalry. 5 mana, 3/4 flying, enters, put a +1 counter on another target soldier you control. So we have tribal soldiers. Seems okay, I got. This image is bigger. This image is bigger, so I'm not going to bother clicking on them. Alright, Airlift Chaplain. Wow, a lot of flyers, huh? Maybe it's just coincidence. When it enters, mill 3, put a plains or a creature with CMC 3 or less into your hand. Okay. I was going to say, this card is bonkers, but no, it just goes in hand. It doesn't go straight on. If you don't put a plains or a creature in your hand, it gets a +1. It's okay. It's a 2-for-1. It's kind of like a 3 mana 1/1 flying draw card, which is not bad. Ambush Paratroopers. Creatures you control get this is neat. 2 mana 1/2 flash flying. With 5 mana, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Kind of a mix of a few other cards we've seen. Might be good. Calamity's Wake. Exile. What a name. That's a good name. Good art, too. Silex's Blast had raised the land, leaving behind only snow and sorrow. Urza stood alone in the sudden silence. I need to find out what the actual plot line here is. Exile all graveyards. Players can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Exile Calamity's Wake. Kinda seems like it could have been a board wipe. You know, it looks more like a board wipe, but exile all graveyards. Players can't cast non-creature spells this turn, so I don't know why you would do that. It's like a bad silence. I don't know. I don't like it. Deadly Riposte. Deadly Riposte deals 3 damage to target tapped creature and you gain 2 life. Nice. Easy. Simple. Automatons are fast, precise, and tireless, but they all share one weakness: predictability. Learn their patterns, strike when they're vulnerable. Same thing about enemies in video games. They're fast, precise, and tireless, but they're predictable, and that's how you win. 1 down, several thousand more to go. Disenchant. There we go. Good old white naturalize. Great Desert Prospector. Are there actual deserts in this? When it enters, create a tap Power Stone token for each other creature you control. Is that broken? Or am I just, tripping? Because that sounds like a lot. Say you have 3 other creatures, you're getting 3 mana rocks? And I know you can't, cast anything with them, but you can activate abilities with them. Seems good, this guy. Great Desert Prospector. Seems good. In the Trenches, 3 mana, enchantment, creatures, it's an anthem, so all your creatures get a buff. 5, exile target non-land permanent you don't control until In the Trenches leaves the battlefield, only as a sorcery and only once. Wow, so this is Glorious Anthem, but it can also be used to exile something. Seems good. I mean, Glorious Anthem is already good, so being able to exile something too, that's extra good. Kayla's Command. I've known some people named Kayla I didn't like. I've also known some people named Kayla that were pretty cool, so kind of a mix, huh? Alright, choose 2. It's 3 mana. Choose 2. Create a colorless 2/2 colorless construct. Put +1 counter on a creature you control. It gains double strike until end of turn. Search your library for planes, reveal it, put it into your hand, or you gain 2 life and scry 2. I feel like you're always gonna use it to make a 2/2 and then put a +1 counter on something. Probably always. Maybe not. Maybe you really need to gain life and scry. Alright, 3X. Kayla's Reconstruct. That must be Kayla. 3X, Kayla's Reconstruction. She looks like the what are they called? The Valarians in the new Game of Thrones type of thing. The Valarians. If you haven't seen House of the Dragon, anyway, she reminds me of the House of the Dragon people, because they're black with white hair, you know? Alright, look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to X artifact and or creature cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Artifact and or creature. So if you cast it for 5, you dig 7 and get 2 things. Cast it for 6, you dig 7 and get 3 things? Be better as an instant, but it's still pretty strong. Alright, lay down arms. Oh shit, is this a path? Exile target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of planes you control. Its controller gains 3 life. That's not path. It is definitely not path, but it's kind of. Like, it does exile a creature. And as long as you're on curve, they're on curve, and they're not doing unfair stuff, then it works. Alright, yeah, this is going to be fire in limited, though. It's very good removal. At uncommon, maybe not. Who knows? Loran of the Third Path. That must be the Silex. I don't really understand what the Silex is. I'm sure it has some major plot point. I'm getting Amonkhet vibes from this statue behind this chick. Or dude. I can't hardly tell. Looks more like a chick to me. It don't matter. 3 mana, 2/1 Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Not you may. That is not a you may. That is destroy. Oh no, up to. So it is a you may. Alright, that's fine. So we have Reclamation Sage with Vigilance. That's already pretty good. Tap you and target opponent each draw a card. Alright, I don't like universal draw stuff like that. Oh, unlimited if there's any mill, that'll be good, since it's forcing them to draw. Loran, wait a minute. Loran, Disciple of History. Loran of the Third Path. I see a problem here. Wait, what? Why do we have 2 copies of the same legend in the same set? I kind of hate it. I kind of hate it. Why do we have 2 copies of the same Loran of the Third Path, Loran, Disciple of History? I hate it. Are they twins with the same name? When that or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, return artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, that seems good. It's not super duper, but it's pretty good. Target artifact or Loran's Escape, 1 mana. Target artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Scry 1. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good in limited. I'll see that do some things, I'm sure. I need an army, not a masterpiece. Accelerate output, whatever it takes. Something about this card just makes me immediately shoot down to that. Okay, 6 mana, create 4/1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens. It's kind of cool. Colorless soldiers. Miraculous Excavation. Nope, Meticulous Excavation. 1 mana enchantment, 3, return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it has Unearth, instead exile it, then return it to its owner's hand. Activate only during your turn. Okay, so if it has Unearth, so you can unearth something, swing with it, then pay 3, bounce it to your hand. That's cool. And it exiles so that it gets around Unearth's exile. Very cool. Military Discipline, Flash, Enchant Creature, Enchantment Aura. When it enters, it gains first strike until end of turn and gets +1/0. Very cool. I can dig that. I like this card. Big ups for me. I'll try to run that, probably. Myrel, or Myrel. Shield of Argive. 4 mana, 3/4, human soldier. Lots of soldiers. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts creature. Holy shit. Yeah, that's really strong. This is not a hate bear. This is a hate giant. A hate hill giant. Whenever Mirel attacks, create X soldiers, where X is the number of soldiers you control. Whoa, that is bonkers. So we've got like a Krinko mob boss, or whatever Krinko it is. We've got a Krinko or Maronar effect on top of something that protects you during your own turn. Seems busted wide open. I see why it's mythic. Phalanx Vanguard, 2 mana, 2/2 Vigilance. Whenever an artifact enters, it gets +1/0. Very cool. Very cool. I can work with it. The cool, sleek automatons beside her mirrored her own iron resolve. That looks like a dude to me. They're too covered in armor to give any real characteristics. Power Stone Engineer. 2 mana, 2/1. When it dies, create a tap Power Stone token. Sure. Easy enough. Easy enough. Alright, moving on. Prison Sentence. Enchant creature. When this enters, scry 2. It can't attack or block or activate abilities. Very cool. This is a good pacifism type effect, and it lets you scry. Recommission. Turn target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a creature enters this way, it enters with an additional +1 counter. Whew! Oh, man! Holy crap. This card's insane. Look at this thing. That's insane. Artifact or creature with CMC, so you can get a 3-drop back and it comes with a +1 counter for 2 mana. That seems really, really good and limited. Like, oh, my creature died, it's back with a +1. Alright, I don't know what the phylogeny are. I just read the flavor text and I don't get it. I get the put your backs into it. Alright, Recruitment Officer. 1 mana, 2/1 human soldier. Already great, right? Already amazing if you're aggro. 4 mana, look at the top 4 of your library. You may reveal creature card with CMC 3 or less and put it into your hand. Ah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, let's see. Repair and Recharge. Turn target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a Power Stone or planeswalker. Phew. Well, that's a good little reanimator. It's a good reanimator spell. There we go. Siege Veteran or Siege Veteran. Beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1 counter on target creature you control. Okay, so we have a 3 mana, 2/2. What was the name of it? The Ascendant or whatever. A card that just gave things a +1 counter. Luminarch Aspirant. Yeah. It's the new Luminarch Aspirant. Whenever another non-token soldier you control dies, create a soldier. Stupid. This thing's going to be played a lot. Maybe not at 3 mana. One of the things about Aspirant was being 2 mana made a difference. We'll see. We'll see. This is a sleeper. This might be big. It's not an actual sleeper agent, but, like, it might be big. We'll see. Alright, Soul Partition. Brutal fucking name. Alright, exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. A spell cast by an opponent this way costs 2 more to cast. Exiles it. It makes them replay it for 2 more mana. That's okay, as an instant. It's not great, though. I get why it's a rare. It is kind of removal. With the Eldrazi processors, it's good. Not that we have those around. Alright, Static Net. 4 mana enchantment. Oblivion Ring, but you also gain 2 and create a Power Stone token. It's cool. I could work with that. Oh, all these activated abilities, like Recruitment Officer... if you have 3 Power Stones, you can activate the ability with it. Survivor of Corliss. 1 mana, 1/1 first strike. I'm getting big Dune vibes. Reminds me of Dune. Exile it from your graveyard. Scry 2. At first, the merchant state of Corliss saw no need to involve itself in the conflict. Mishra's dragon engines changed that. Shall only fly once. Make it count. You're not a very good architect if you make something that can only fly once. Thopters, also Big Dune vibes. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, control target creature gains flying. It could be good. There is a lot of flying already, it seems like. Tokasia's Welcome. I don't know who Tokasia is. Whenever one or more creatures with mana value 3 or less enter the... I hate mana value. Just say converted mana cost, so I can say CMC. With CMC 3 or less enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Kind of wish it said non-token to balance it, because if you have things that make tokens, seems strong. Seems really strong. Might be, might actually backfire in Limited, because you could draw your deck, but that depends how aggro you are. Union of the Third Path. We need to unionize. Draw a card, and then you gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. Cool. Solid. I like it. Great. Fantastic. 3 mana, draw, gain life. Kind of like Revitalize, but you can gain a lot more life. Alright, Warlord's Elite. 3 mana, 4/4. Wait, what? Alright, as an additional cost to cast the spell, tap 2 untapped artifacts, creatures, and or lands you control. Oh, okay, so it's 5 mana, 4/4, if you don't have anything else, but if you have 2 creatures, it's a 3-drop. So you go turn 1, 1-drop, turn 2, 2-drop, turn 3, tap your other creatures, and play Warlord's Elite. That doesn't make sense, though. Warlord's Elite, and it's a white card, and it's a soldier and not a warrior. That's kind of a flavor fail, I will say. That is kind of a flavor fail. Seems like a good card, though. Good and limited. This is the new Argivian Phalanx. Warlord's Elite. Yoshian, or Yodian. I'm guessing it's Yoshin. Yoshin Medic. Yoshin Medic. 3 mana, 1/4 lifelink. I don't like it. I don't like that card. I don't like it. Maybe if you're control and limited, it's good, but I don't like it. Oh, artifacts. We went straight from white to artifacts, did we? How long has this been? Because I might chop these up. That was 17 minutes. So we'll go with artifacts, which is probably a really long section, and then maybe I'll chop this up. We'll see. We'll see. Autonomous assembler. An assembly worker. We have an assembly worker. Was the... Hold on. Steam Flogger Boss. Nothing weird came up when I typed that, did it? 7 Deadly Sins. I was not looking up the anime, actually. Rigger. No, Rigger, not assembly worker. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. I thought it was a Rigger. It's an assembly worker. Alright, 5 mana, 4/5 vigilance. 1 tap, put a +1 counter on target assembly worker you control. Or you can make it a 2-drop 2/2. 2-drop 2/2 vigilance that can buff itself is already pretty damn good. Alright, Combat Thresher. 7 mana, 3/3. Double strike when it enters draw a card. Or 3 mana, 1/1 double strike when it enters draw a card. Pretty cool. Platoon Dispenser. These all still seem white. These are all still basically white cards. Beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more creatures, draw a card. Puh! What? What? Are you... Oh, this is a creature? What the hell? I thought I was looking at just a regular artifact. Alright, 5 mana, 4/6 construct. Beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more other creatures, draw a card. 4 mana, create a 1/1, and unearth for 4. This thing's nuts. I mean, I get why it's a mythic. This thing's insane. Yeah, pick this if you get it. Sheesh. Scrapwork Cohort enters the battlefield, create a soldier. Ah, okay. And unearth. Okay. I can live with that. That's a cool card. It's cool, it's solid, probably won't run it all that often, but it's nice little 4 mana, 4/2 in total power and toughness. And then you can unearth it and get more. Very cool. Steel Seraph, 6 mana, 5/4 flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains your choice of flying, vigilance, not another target creature, so it can hit itself. Flying, vigilance, or lifelink until end of turn. How do you mark if you prototyped something? Like, how do you... How do you mark if you cast it with Prototype or not? Because couldn't that easily get complicated if people forget? I mean, obviously on Arena it's not going to be a problem, but IRL? There must be a way. I don't know what, but, you know, you just put a little Prototype token on it. Or it's a 3-mana 3/3 flying that can give something flying vigilance or like. Either way, this is great. That's a powerful card. Alright, Tocasia's Onulet. What is that? Onulet. That's a card? If it goes to the graveyard, its controller gains 2 life. It's only a magic card. It's not even like a word. Onulet is just a magic thing. Alright. Nothing a whole lot to say about this. 5 mana, 4/4, gains 2 life. It's decent. It's okay. There's going to be a lot of big creatures, huh? Urza's Silex. Oh, we've got another Silex. Huh. 3 mana, does not enter tapped, notably. 4 tap, exile it. Each player chooses 6 lands they control. Destroy all other permanents. Okay, so kind of destroy all non-land permanents, but also destroy some lands. Cool. When it's put into the exile from the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, search your library for a Planeswalker card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. That seems a little unnecessary, but pretty cool. Alright, Veteran's Power Blade. 3 mana, sword, plus 2/0, equip soldier for white, or equip for 2. Doesn't seem good to me. Seems like kind of a crappy equipment that you're probably not going to run. Yoshian Frontliner. Cool art. I like the little robot guy. Very cool art. Cool little robot guy. 1 mana, 1/1. Whenever it attacks another target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and you can unearth it for a white. I like that. Alright, so obviously some of the rares and mythics are really powerful. But looking at, like, commons, Warlord's Elite is good. Survivor of Corliss is okay. The 1 mana, 2/1. This thing, Recruitment Officer, the uncommon, is really good. Recommission seems insane to me, honestly. Seems really good, especially with, like, you recommission something that has a death trigger or something. Pretty good. Discipline is an okay combat trick. Lorian's Escape is an okay combat trick. Lay Down Arms is good removal. This guy can make a ton of mana, which is good, because this set looks like it's going to have a lot of mana sinks. Deadly Riposte is very good. Well, I'm not sure. Well, time will tell how good of a removal spell this is. It looks pretty good to me, though. And yeah, that's my assessment of the white cards in Bros War. I hope you enjoyed this. I plan on doing one of these for each color before the set comes out, and that's how I'm going to know what to do. You may notice the arena music has been playing in the background. It's because maybe I'm actually going to play some games here soon and stop just looking at cards. Anyway, let me know what you think of these white cards. Let me know where you think I'm terribly wrong. If you think Scrapwork Cohort is insane, go ahead and comment. Anyway, peace out, y'all.